This is just me. Why there is no in between. This ain't my scene, I beg my leave. My face ain't clean, this is just me. Some ways I lean, escaping green. I state my dream, not in between. This ain't my scene, I beg my leave. My face ain't clean, this is just me. Some ways I lean, escaping green. No in between.
This is just me. A sound, a style, a groove, a rhythm.
No in between.
I know you have to say what you're given. I'll move on, yeah, I'll move on. 1 minute, then I'm gone. I'm gone. So this is just me. It's a sound, it's a style, it's a groove, it's a rhythm.
No in between.
I know you have to say what you're given. I'll move on, yeah, I'll move on. 1 minute, then I'm 1 minute, then I'm
Just me, there's no in between. So this
This is just me. A sound, a style, a groove, a rhythm. No in between. I know you have to say what you're given.
Right. Hello, everybody. It is so good to see all of you over here, all our entrepreneurial friends from all over the world. Thank you so much for choosing to spend this hour with us. You are watching the Coffee Shop Conversation show for entrepreneurs worldwide. And I am Naseen, one of the co-founders of Explore Protech Entrepreneurial Haven. So happy to be here with you guys again today. As you know, this is the show where a couple of us entrepreneurs from around the world get together. We show off our vastly different, interesting accents, and then we create a really fun space for you guys to learn and connect together from all over the world. Okay, so it's like going into a coffee shop. I want you to just chill out, be happy. You're with your friends now, and we're going to do some serious learning and sharing together. Remember, throughout this show, as people talk and get involved in the conversation, we're going to be giving them shout outs, and then we will be linking everyone that gets involved in the convo in the description below. So if there's anyone on the show today that you really vibe with, that you want to connect more with, that you want to have more chats with, then go and click on those links in the description and connect. These are some of the best entrepreneurs in the world. The only way you get onto this coffee shop show is if you've been vetted by at least me and Peter at least once. So we can confidently say these are some of the best entrepreneurs in the whole entire world. Okay, so we're in today for a really fun show. This is going to be amazing. I can see Darren is trying to keep his eyes open, but Deanne is definitely in the vibe. She was bobbing her head to the music, which is always a good sign. So today, guys, we're chatting about common mistakes that all entrepreneurs make. And you know what? The way that we came up with this topic was we were talking about all the different things, because obviously we see so many different business models, strategies, marketing ideas, things people are pulling off in our entrepreneurial tribe. And it's kind of, if you've seen enough of these, they kind of develop a trend. So you start spotting mistakes early. And we were thinking, like, how amazing would it be if we can get a couple of entrepreneurs, like actual really great successful entrepreneurs, onto this call, and we can all share what are the mistakes that we've made or seen or coached, so that you don't have to make the same ones, and we can all learn from each other, make less mistakes, but do more learning. Hey, so I feel like that would be a really great thing for us to do today. It's going to be awesome. So the way we're going to manage this conversation, everyone that's on the screen right now, if you want to get involved in the conversation, you please need to put up your heart for me on the screen like so. So you just click the reaction button, the heart, and that lets me know that you are ready to get involved in the conversation and you have something to say. Okay, let's have an awesome conversation. Share a lot, connect. Feel free to go wild on YouTube and chip in. I'll try to bring in the comments as you guys make them on the actual live chat. So yeah, let's just share and learn together. Common mistakes that all entrepreneurs make. I've got a ton, but I want to hear from you guys because I want to learn as much as you are learning today. So hearts up on the screen. Who has something to say on this topic? Amazing, for the first time ever on the Coffee Shop Conversation show, guys. This is Deanne, all the way from Canada. She shovels her car out of the snow every single day. I mean, that's something for entrepreneurial grit, hey? Deanne, please let us know common mistakes that all entrepreneurs make. Also, guys, before I forget, sorry, Deanne, once you have gotten involved in the conversation, so Deanne, once you've told us what you want to tell us, made your comment, asked your questions, whatever, please end with Deanne Duffin, just a little bit about what you do so people can get to know you that way. Okay, amazing. Deanne, we're all yours. Go for it. Start off the conversation.
Well, just for clarification, it's only a few months of the year that I have to shovel. It's not all year round. And it is atypical for it to have snowed on May 9th. But yes, hi, Deanne Duffin, Inspired Solutions Consulting. I'm a strategic advisor, and I've worked with businesses, nonprofits, and governments at all different sizes in all different industries. And I see the same common mistakes in lots of different businesses. And one of the most common, especially in the beginning, is trying to wear too many hats and do it all. And it's so important to be really clear for the owners, especially in the beginning, and for their team members later on, about what is your sweet spot. What are the things that you love to do, you're really good at, and has the highest return on investment for your time for the company. And so if you're the owner, you should be using your skill set in the best way possible and making sure that you're maximizing the revenue for the company in that way, and make sure that you bring on people with other skill sets so that they can do what they love to do and are best at, and build out that team. And sometimes people think they need to, wait till they can hire a full-time person to pick up some of the stuff. But I usually tell owners, just decide what you and your other founders love to do. Where's your sweet spot? Put everything else you don't love to do and aren't best at and isn't a high return on investment for the company into a bucket, and then decide, what is that bucket called? Is it a whole person that you bring in soon to be an executive with you or a manager? Or is it, a part-time, a consultant, a subcontractor? How many hours do you really need? Because if you're a founder and you're very gifted at what you do, we really don't want to see you doing things you don't like to do, whether that's bookkeeping, IT, social media, whatever it is you're not excited about. Pay people to do it. And you might think you don't have the money, but when you focus on what you're best at, you bring in the money for your company so that you can pay the people to support you. Deanne Duffin, Inspired Solutions Consulting. I'm based in Calgary, Alberta, and I work globally. And I work with my clients to get rapid results in a way that they're excited about, so that they can have the business they dreamed of when they started. Thank you.
Guys, I mean, how is that for a first time ever appearance on the Coffee Shop show, hey? Well done. It's absolutely awesome. Deanne, and I mean, I couldn't agree more. I'd like to hear from everyone else, but I mean, we see so many people working their butts off in entrepreneurship. Like, literally, they are always busy. They're like, Natasha. but it's not actually bringing in the money, you know. And then when the sad thing is when you ask them, like, why did you get into entrepreneurship in the first place? They're like, you know, so I can do this, so I can have this lifestyle, so that I can, you know, have a business that makes money while I'm not even there. And you're like, how's that going for you? I'm one of those people. Like, I'm literally one of those people. So that is one of the things, like, literally, even if you have to work with like a coach or someone, and maybe someone like Deanne, just identify those tasks that are the high earners, that bring in the actual money. And that makes such a, like everything else, you can literally, like, what I do is I ask myself, is the business going to die? If I don't send this email, is the business going to collapse completely if I don't do this invoice right now? You know, I'm very good at ignoring admin and all of that. So don't go as far as I do with it. But that is a super, super important point, Deanne. Thank you so much for raising it. The other thing that I love about what you said was, don't wait until, you know, okay, so here's one of the things we hear from entrepreneurs all the time. You know, I'm almost ready to scale. Like, if I just work like 100% harder than I'm doing right now, then I'll be able to hire someone. And you know what's going to happen when you hire someone? You're going to work 300% as hard. Because now you're training someone, bringing them into the team. You know, that's a full-time job. It's like babysitting. And you're working twice as hard so you can pay their salary. And you're doing your original work. It's not possible. If you can, in creative ways in the beginning, bring people into your team, you need to be doing that already when you like think of starting up your business. Like, build it into the business model from the beginning. And that's also where it's so vital to work with the right coaches right from the get-go. Like, people say, and I swear I'm going to stop talking just now, but this is a topic that I could probably go on for life about. People think, you know, if I'm starting up an entrepreneurship, I have this little bit of money, buy the website, buy an awesome social media page, buy a freaking coach. You're going to save a lot of money, a ton of money, and you're going to make money faster as well. So, Deanne, thank you so much. That was epic. Love. Let's move to another location, but also Canada. Permelia, I'm super excited to hear what you have to say. Common mistakes all entrepreneurs make.
Well, first of all, I just want to clarify, we don't have an accent, do we, Deanne? But we don't have accents, no. Oh, and I think Darlene's from Canada too. So yeah, no, Canadians don't have an accent. Just wanted to clarify that. But further to what Deanne said, I totally agree what she said. I read a book many years ago, one of my earlier businesses, and it's called The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. You may have heard of that. And he talks about working on your business, not in your business. And that was like a big aha for me, because of course, as a brand new entrepreneur, I'm just thinking I'm just going to work, and everything's going to all work out the way I want it to work out. So
Oh, Permedia, your sound just all of a sudden disappeared. So now we're playing charade.
oh, can you hear me now?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
All right. I don't know what part you didn't hear, but anyway. So it's really great to have that kind of guidance about working on your business, not in your business, because we get all caught up in doing the day-to-day stuff. And the other thing that I would recommend is to have a plan. First of all, maybe a 12-month plan, but a 3-month plan and a 6-month plan, and then review that. You might even also, when you get started, want to have a monthly plan and then review what it is that you did through the month, your plan that you're going to do for the next month or the next quarter. And then you can review it and see what you did do. Maybe some of the things you didn't do, you can put into the next quarter, but it gives you the satisfaction that you actually are accomplishing something. You're not just being on the little treadmill around and around. So The E-Myth is what it's called, by Michael Gerber. It's a great book.
Thank you so much, Permelia. And that's Permelia Parham from Vibrational Healing.
Yes, sorry. Permelia Parham, Vibrational Healing. I'm a certified body code and emotion code practitioner, and I assist my clients to release their unprocessed negative or trapped emotions, these little balls of negative energy that could be stuck in their subconscious, so that they will be healthy in all different ways, and physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, they'll be healthy. Yes.
Love this. Thank you so much, Permelia. And I absolutely love everything that you said. I'm also interested to explore with you, and maybe with everyone else on the call as well, since you're in the help space, right? I mean, one other mistake that we see all the time is entrepreneurs not actually paying attention to their health early enough. And that's another thing I did as well, because I like to make as many mistakes as possible, you know? Like, why make only some of them? I did it all.
Just
but what
get them
I
out of the
did,
way. Just get those mistakes out of the way.
exactly. What I didn't realize was what a negative effect that was having on my energy. Like, I didn't even realize, you know, I wasn't like under perspective. Now you can't even work on your strategy properly, but you're not realizing it because you don't have the perspective. I'm just interested to know, is that like something you see in business all the time? Do you have a lot of entrepreneurs coming to you like half dead? I'm just keen to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, well, I mean, energy is one thing that I've studied for many years, and it's very important. So that's kind of also another whole conversation we could have about self-care, especially for entrepreneurs, because we might be looking after families, we could be looking after children, we could be caregivers for our parents still, we could be the combination of everything. And it's so important for us to look after ourselves and put ourselves first. It's like that oxygen mask on the airplane, right? You have to really have to give yourself the oxygen first before you can help anybody else. So self-care is one thing I talk to my clients about all the time. So important.
Thank you so much, Permelia. That's absolutely awesome. Love that perspective. Let's move to Australia. Darren, is it fair for me to say that you have an accent?
No, we're the ones without the accent. I'm sorry if you disagree with the Canadians.
Gotcha. Please let us know. Common mistakes all entrepreneurs make. I'm super interested to hear this opinion as well, because you're another networking owner, so you've probably seen it all, right?
Yeah, I guess starting business, one of the mistakes I made, even though I was advised to do this, was to actually research the product or service that you want to, you think there's a need for. So it's great to have an idea and be really passionate about it and good about it, but unless there's an actual market for it, you're not going to get anywhere. And I did it a couple of times myself, where I thought I was going to become rich off t-shirts, and you know, there's really no market for it, whatever. And even last year when I kicked off what I'm doing now, it started off generating leads for builders. And so I went ahead and did a website and Facebook group and all the rest of it. And I was actually generating leads for builders, and they couldn't care less. They didn't want to pay for it. So I spent all that time generating what I thought was an awesome idea, but no one really cared. So to take the time, especially before you quit a job or whatever income you have now, is to make sure there is a market. And through that process, you generate potential leads, potential clients, and you'll find that the market will actually give you the ideas and, you know, the way you can present that product or service. You know, so if you're presenting, if you've got a product or service, it's the same as hundreds of other people. You got to try and work out how to make it different and unique, you know, your USP. So yeah, definitely researching the market before putting your whole life, mortgaging your house or whatever, and going for it, because you just spend a lot of money down the tube. And I'm Darren Wallace-Smith from I Refer to You. I generate facilitated referrals and build networks for you.
Love that, Darren. And I just want to recognize as well that thing that you just said, so important. No one has the guts to say it. How do you tell someone to their face, like, look, you're an amazing person. I absolutely adore you. Your only problem is, can you please just sell something that people actually want?
Yeah.
You know, it's a crap thing to say. But it is so important. So I'm so happy that you raised that. And you know what? You just also proved that there's always, like, an entrepreneurial journey is never dead. There's always a way to spin it, get proper feedback from the market, you know, like what you did. You figured out, oh, the builders don't want this service. That's fine. Leave them alone then. You know,
Yeah.
how are we going to niche this? Like, let me not be the same as every other networking thing out there. I do referrals for you. You know, now I'm networking on your behalf. Like
Yeah.
that, I was literally, I'm not even joking. I was so impressed when I first realized what your unique selling point is. Super impressed. So yeah, thank you
Thank you,
so
Christine.
much for mentioning that. Really appreciate it. That's epic advice, guys. I hope you guys are taking notes. And by the way, if you don't know, Darlene, I love it. Amazing. Darren, if you don't know if you've got a good unique selling point, like what if you don't know? How do we find out? Like, do people actually want what we're selling?
People don't buy from you, pretty much. You know, if you're out there flogging your product and services, and people are saying no, well, there's got to be a reason for that. Like I found out with the builders, you know, for one particular builder, I had 3 leads. You know, he just didn't care. He was that busy. He didn't want to pay for that. So, but he'll want them when there's a depression and there's no work around. But yeah, at this time, you know, and that just proved to me that there was going to be big ups and downs. It could be 2 years when they're flourishing. You know, what am I going to do for 2 years? So, you know, I had to try and either sulk about it or turn it around. So, yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much, Darren. And yeah, so guys, if you don't know, and even if you're an established business, by the way, we do this all the time still. Talk to your freaking customers. Even if you don't have customers, you know, get free customers. Like, can I just demo this freaking service for you so that you can tell me if this is something that you actually want? And they will tell you. They'll tell you, like, mate, I'm so busy. I am not even like, why are you doing this? You know, but then you talk to a coach or someone else in B2B and they're like, are you joking? Bring me 3 leads. How much do you want? Like, I'll take my checkbook out right now. That's the type of feedback you want. Someone that's like, are you kidding? Like, that is my exact problem. And people will help you find that problem. People don't like to have problems. They don't. Like, you ask them, they will tell you, but you have to get to the actual problem. Provide the actual solution. That's where the entrepreneurial gold is at. And someone else also mentioned, then bring that gold into your strategy. I think it was Pramelia mentioned, yeah, working on your business. Then you bring that gold straight into your strategy. And that's where you need to spend your time, developing that revenue stream, because that is what's going to bring in the return on investment. Guys, I love this show. This is going to be one of the best ones ever. Thank you so much for all your magical contributions. Let's go right back to Canada. Darlene, the Oprah Winfrey of scam prevention. I cannot wait to hear what mistakes is it that our entrepreneurs are making.
Well, the ones that I see and the ones that I'm definitely guilty of are guilty from what Diana said, guilty from what Darren said, guilty what from Amelia says, so guilty. And also I find that consistency, like sometimes when I'm working with people, I find that it and for myself, that there isn't consistency in what they are doing and what they are saying and in the support that they're giving. And also to do what you say you're going to do and when you say you're going to do it. And that's, you know, contacting people that you're going to contact. And you have to be consistent with your own self too, and do what your own self says that you're going to be doing. So if you say, okay, tomorrow morning, I'm going to contact these people, and then you don't, and then the list gets longer and longer, then it never gets done. And so that I find that with that, it really makes a big difference. But when you do say you're going to contact so-and-so, make sure, and you do contact them, make sure that you're prepared for the meeting. Why did you set up the meeting? What was the purpose? Don't waste their time. Don't waste your time. You know, and if it's a meet and greet, then make it a meet and greet. And, you know, like for your first time, you know, you're not selling your product. You're not, you know, because they don't know, like, and trust you. And that's a sure way to have them, you know, delete all three of those. So I think it's really important to get to know people first. And also when you are talking to people, know what it is that you yourself are doing before you're asking. If you're asking for help, know the area that you are wanting help. And sometimes you may not know, but then that's what you say. You say, you know what, I'm really struggling, but I don't really know where I'm struggling. And these are the things that I have tried. So those are my tips. And I am taking notes. Speak a little slower. Are you
Love it.
I don't see that this is being recorded. Do we usually record?
It's on, this is on the YouTube channel, so it's all on there.
Right. It's like, because I got to go
Thank
back.
you, Darcy. Oh, that was masterful, hey? Guys, if
Not
you
very
want to
good.
connect with anyone, go check out this thing on the YouTube channel. It is always there for you. Go and connect with the people that have their LinkedIn links in the description. And go and press the notification bell and share and everything else, and let us know how you feel about this episode. Darlene, that was absolutely epic. I definitely agree with everything that you've said. And look, I'm also guilty. Like I've done everything that you guys have mentioned so far. So also what you've mentioned, but I feel like what you said is really also very important. Like you say you're gonna, and I'm guilty of this. I'm a creative person, okay? I'm not the most consistent person in the world. That's why I know for a fact now, if I invent something that requires consistency, I need to find someone like yesterday to take that over, you know? So that's just also knowing yourself. And the other thing that you said about being very strategic with your conversations, and you know, you can be strategic with conversations and relationships that you're building without going into the first meeting selling like full, like blazing ahead with your sales pitch, you know, because you know this person is your target market. So you know building a relationship with them is going to result in business for you. You don't know when. None of us do. Could be a week, could be a day, could be a month, but have a plan in place for what do you do with the people in those conversations. Because the last thing, like what we also see is people is like, networking doesn't work. I have meetings all day, nothing ever happens. Okay, so what do you try to make happen from the meetings? What? Is that up to me? You know, like I thought they were gonna call me and just sign up, like beat the offer out of me type. You can see Mo scanning herself. like, do you have a customer journey for these people? For us, I'll make it easy for you because I am an accountant. Like, I did not know nothing about this very like shortly ago. So yeah, for us, if we meet someone, we at least now have the common sense to add them to some kind of email list, you know, so that we can stay in touch. Because we spent the time, we invested the time in getting to know that person. We promised them we will never sell to you anything ever. We just want to stay in touch, right? So can I put you on this list, and then you'll just see what we're up to. And most people are fine with that. But they'll find, like in the beginning, we were doing like crazy amounts of meetings, like 40 meetings a month, and nothing was happening. And we're like, why aren't people beating like down the door trying to buy our stuff. It does, because you had no plan past the first meeting, Nestine. So that is also, thank you so much, Doreen. Also, the thing about getting to know, like, and trust, like get people to know, like, and trust you. The other thing that we see all the time, if you want to make sure that you have the most insanely high marketing budget ever in the whole world, like, you will literally sign up like 1% of all the people that you meet. Right? If you want to make sure that you're in that bracket, like your return on marketing investment in hours and money is like the lowest it can possibly be, then you go into your every single first meeting and try to sell something. Because it's counterintuitive, but what you're doing is you're literally finding your target market, you're putting in all the work to find them, you're smiling and everything to attract them into the meeting, right? So you're ready for that first date, and then you're the creepy guy going like, so do you want to get married? This is what you are doing, guys. That is what you're doing. Okay, so it's about the long game. It's about, you might, like, every 600th person might look at you and be like, well, you have nice eyes, you know? Yes. But it's a very, very ineffective way to actually sell your offer. And also, if you're selling like a high ticket type item, it's going to be very difficult for you to make that sale. So have a customer journey, develop that relationship, you know, and then you can take it further. So on that note, I'm super keen to hear from this person, because this person is the winner of many awards. Also, how far are we to the billion views on whatever platform you're streaming on, Mo?
I was wondering who you're talking about, and then you gave it away with the billion. It's a million, not a billion, but I mean, you know, if you're speaking it into existence, honey, I'll take it. Let's get to a billion then. Hey? But we're getting there. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. Marco, like we'll definitely get there. But slowly but surely, we're getting there. Wow, I think this is such a loaded topic. Common mistakes that entrepreneurs make. I think off the top of my head, I was trying to make notes as people were talking, but one of the things I learned early on in the game, when I was working on this project over here, the one in the green, as my finger disappears into the ether, but this one over there, Shopperpolitan. One of the things I learned with that program was that you shouldn't assume context or assume that people care about what you do and why you do it. As important as what you do might be to you, don't always assume that it's important to everybody else in the world, or important to your customers, clients, strategic partners, potential investors, etc., etc. So don't assume context, you know. And in Shopperpolitan, you know, we work with informal traders, and our vision is to digitize informal economies across Africa. And that's a great vision, many would say. Don't always assume that people know what that means or why that's important. So that's one of the things that I find entrepreneurs make as a mistake, because we're so in love with our businesses, our visions, our missions, our projects, and why it's important, you know, to save the global economy one small business at a time type thing. But we're in love with that stuff, and we sometimes assume that the world will be as in love with it as we are, and that's not always the case. And that's where storytelling comes into play, which you'll know is one of my favorite things as a poet and a spoken word artist and a writer. That's where I found storytelling to really be sort of a gift in the context of business, crafting a compelling narrative and crafting a compelling story, which I don't think we do often enough as entrepreneurs, because we're just so in love with our businesses, and we come, you know, like we just assume that everybody will understand it. You got to do a lot of work crafting that narrative, and you won't get it right the first time. You know, and this is one of the things about entrepreneurship. It just, unfortunately, it takes time. You got to try different things and listen to the market and listen to what the customers and, you know, what the pilot is saying to you, what the demo feedback is. And as you go, you'll find the right narrative, right? So it does take some time. Don't assume context. Don't assume that people care or people know why they should care. That's like one of the first mistakes I think we make as entrepreneurs. And then one other one that I will add whilst I'm on my soapbox is getting distracted, especially as creators. You know, entrepreneurs, we're inherently creatives. So you start a business with a particular mission or vision and whatnot, and then along the way, other shiny things come along the way, and you're like, oh, that'd be really cool for us to do that. That'd be really cool to pivot into that thing. Oh, what an amazing session I had with that Piki from like wherever. And let's now gonna start a whole new project, gonna run the world with like this new thing. You get distracted by like shiny things that come along the way that actually distract you from the one thing you set out to do. And so that's another thing, you know, that I would say to entrepreneurs. Like, be very wary of getting distracted by the shiny new trends or objects that come along the way. I'm not saying don't pivot and don't listen to the market, but don't get distracted. It's smart to pivot. It's smart to listen to the market and react and change strategies. It's silly to get distracted by shiny things. And there is actually a difference between the two. So yeah, now I'm off my soapbox.
Wait, and you are?
Oh, I'm Mo Malele from Shopperpolitan. We are building the world's largest Afrocentric marketplace.
Oh yeah, and she writes like the best poetry ever. Like seriously, you guys have to check her out.
And I do that as well. Poet and spoken word artist.
Yeah. Can you give us your link so we can help you get to the billion streams? I upgraded it, okay? Just 10. What's 10 between friends? Mo, I adore what you said. It's absolutely amazing. You know what? And it's it's one of those things, like just like what Darren said, you know, with sell something that people actually want to buy. It's very difficult to get that point across to people. It's kind of like a sore point. But it's something that you're going to have to make peace with. The other thing is, like, people don't care about you, okay? Like Mo said, they really do not, they couldn't care less. Those people that you're talking to on LinkedIn, if you make it about them, they will talk back. If you make it about you, no matter how awesome the cause is that you're working for and supporting and trying to do, like, I mean, we're trying to save the global economy, you know? Some people are like, yeah, good luck with that. Sounds like another dreamer. You get that. But if you make it about them first, then all of a sudden they start to care about you. And that's how you can then get your message across properly. So, Mo, I think everything you said has been so valid. Thank you so much for sharing that, except for the shiny bubbles. I will be chasing some shiny bubbles for the rest of my entrepreneurial life, okay? I cannot help it. That is how I'm wired. That is why we need a team of 500 people to support me, okay? Every day I'm like, ooh, a new business, yay! And then Peter's running around putting together the team, and all the entrepreneurs in our tribe are like, not a freaking another task force, no! No, but there is a difference, and I know I need to manage this, right? So creativity can be a very amazing, incredible, like, advantage in business. If it goes too far, as when it's a problem, then it becomes the shiny bubble syndrome. So thank you so much for sharing that, Mo. This is awesome, guys. You are amazing. On that note, next up, are we going to Germany or are we coming back to South Africa? Wolf or Natasha? Who is putting their heart up first? Let's see whose heart goes up first. Natasha's hiding. She's like, I'm guilty of everything. I'm not talking today. But that's also valuable to hear, Natasha. It's super valuable to hear. But okay, let's go to Germany first. Let's hear from the wolf. The wolf. Common mistakes all entrepreneurs make. We're so happy to have you here. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so excited. Do I have to say first what the hell I'm doing, or can I just talk?
You can just talk, and then after you say what the hell you're doing.
I never like understand these games. Like, so the biggest mistakes I did was not sticking to it. I'm a fantastic dreamer, and when the first moment, when things like, because the first thing is always easy, right? And then you go, oh, and you have the website ready. Let's say the first couple of months, and you have like the first one, just this a little bit of work, and then I convinced some clients, and then it seems to work. Yeah, and then I thought I figured it out. I had figured out nothing. I had no clue. I just had a couple of lucky shots. Oh my gosh. I enjoyed that. Like the last 2 years, it's been a really tough ride. And so I'm working with so many people, and they all were coming. And I thought, like, yeah, I found a successful business. But they were always coming to my free events, and no one was paying. No, that's not true. They paid $25 for an online event, which I thought is an indicator that's relevant. But let's say 50 events later, and about like 150 people I invited to these events, I still made not more than 25 euros with this event, and it could not get any further. I could not sell any coaching upsell. It wasn't working. And this was a moment I was really frustrated, because I thought I had something, and I built a base of. I can quickly share what I'm doing. I'm coaching exitpreneurs, like entrepreneurs who are stuck in their business after 10, 20 years, and they really want to exit this. The best idea would be to sell, or whatever solution to get out, which is really hard if you have employees and all of that. You cannot switch so easy. Everything is glued together. So I'm helping them to make a safe transition into a new life, with or without their company. It depends. I think it's also great to keep your company. Just find a new role. Okay, but that's what I do. So I invite all these people to these online events, and they come, but they don't buy further. And so the biggest mistake was I was holding on to this event for 1.5 years, my base camp, because I thought this was my success. But actually it was my death. I stopped doing this. I started selling one-on-one. I went to one-on-one coaching. I stopped group coaching because I didn't figure out how group coaching worked. Then in this year, I made a lot of money. I made like 7 figures or more. No, I really made a lot of figures, like ka-ching, because I stopped the other thing. And now I want to go back to group coaching. I still haven't figured out, but I keep my base. So it's sometimes not killing what seems to work, but it wasn't taking me anywhere. But I enjoyed it a lot. But I felt like if I stop this, I'm dead. But I was dead by doing it. Oh yeah, I'm Wolfgang. I'm coaching exitpreneurs from all around the world. Some live in Bucharest, some live in the US, some live in Lisbon, some live in Germany, and but I don't have one extrapreneur yet in South Africa, because I love going to the mountains with you. So if you hear me and you want to go into the mountains and you want to find a new life, you can just book me. I'm in if there's mountains on my journey, because my company is called The Second Mountain, and I will take you anywhere.
That is epic! Thank you, Mr. Wolf. And how valuable, I mean, guys, let me just share this with you, right? Mr. Wolf is one of those people where when I first met him, I was like, I cannot believe this person is talking to me. And then I became friends with this incredibly high-end, amazing, like clued up on everything coach person. And then he went onto the TEDx stage, and I was like, surely he's not going to continue talking to me. You know? But Wolf, this just shows like the power of relationships. And thank you so much for being willing to step into your vulnerability and share that, because that is such valuable advice. I mean, if people out there can just realize, you know, all us entrepreneurs, we had to start somewhere on this journey. You know, all of us have made mistakes. It's fine. That's literally, I think if there's an official definition of entrepreneurship, it has to have mistakes in it. You know, that's literally what it is.
Yeah,
Fail
like
fast, fail forward.
yeah, I think we all have this, that we have things that we hold on to things, and yeah, shiny objects are also things we hold on, like, and yeah, and I think also like the community part is, I think, is so important. Is also accepting. When I sold my business, I was my company. I had a digital marketing agency with 40 employees. I was making a couple of million turnovers. So I was a member of the entrepreneurs organization. This was great because there's only people who make 1 million or more turnover. Because after that, people have the same problems. And so it didn't matter 1 million or 100 million, they all had the same problem. So this was a great community. But when I sold my business, I felt like in the beginning was still cool, but I felt like I don't belong there anymore because we don't share the same topics. When I started my business, I wanted to talk about, should I build a list, a newsletter list? And they were looking at me, huh? And they were like, or like, how do I get my first 5 clients? And they were like, huh? And I realized I need a new tribe that is like on eye level, and in certain topics there is more experts in my rather than I am, but we have all kind of the same topic, right? And for that, it's so important to find your tribe. But finding a tribe is also like, where is a tribe you feel you can grow? They're like that, and here, which is what I realized, there's always someone who's ahead of me, where I can be a student again. And to me, like, hey, I'm the oldest kid here in the room. I don't know how old you guys are, but I'm 51. So for me, right, I can to me, it's about mentoring, not mentoring. Like I can mentor people, but it's about re-mentoring. Natasha, I'm sure I can learn so much from you. Like Zita, I mean, like the way she teaches me Clubhouse and Insta, I like, oh my gosh, I'm still like, and I used Instagram, right? But forget it. Like she's like, do this and do the live and do the reel, do the what? And I didn't know, like, should I really do it? Maybe. And so there's this re-mentoring, which is also so great about listening what the other one has to give. And this tribe is giving so much. And yeah. Wow.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wolf. That is so special to hear. I love that. Absolutely love and adore having you part of this tribe. And everything you said is so true. And if it makes you feel any better, me and Peter made the exact same mistake. We started, we now have a task force running global online speed networking. But when we started it, it was basically like a full-time job, selling tickets for $5, having about 10 to 20, maybe sometimes 40, up to 80 people at an event.
Yeah.
But then we realized we created a situation where me and Peter together were working full time for $5. We weren't reaching the target. It was ridiculous. So we had to rethink all of that. You know, so it's definitely true. Let go of things that aren't working for you, or pivot them into something new that will work for you. So valuable. Natasha, before we go, I know we're almost out of time, but we gotta hear from you, girl.
Hi, everyone. I must admit, I was here kind of from an educational point. I am in the middle of going through all of this 4 years into my business to do a rebrand because of some of these mistakes. So I think I was here just purely from learning from you guys, because so many of these mistakes I've made. And one of the things that Wolf mentioned now, which is really resonating with me at the moment, is you love something and it brings money in, but it's not bringing in the money to take you up full time. While the other thing where you're going, okay, I can do that, I'm good at that, is the one bringing in the money. So I'm currently doing, like I said, a full strategic company rebrand, the whole 9 yards. So yeah, thanks for all of the information. I really appreciate the tips. And I'm Natasha from Designer Art. We do art consultation and corporate communication design.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Natasha. Absolutely epic. I'd like literally, I just know you're going to be so amazing. I was also 3 years in, and I mean, you're already amazing. It's literally also sometimes you don't realize how close you are to that empire that you wanted when you started this. It's just a few tweaks. And those tweaks can actually only be done by people from outside, looking at your business from different perspectives, helping you put it together, structure properly. So just chat to as many people in the tribe as possible. Let them help you.
I was just going to say, end that sentence with, thank God for the tribe. I have as many things as I need.
That's really awesome to hear. Okay, and on the YouTube channel, quickly, massive shout out to Rona McCormick, our favorite entrepreneurial writer from Scotland, specializing in writing for the wellness industry. She says, I'm so guilty of shiny object syndrome, but such a good conversation today. Really had helpful tips for new entrepreneurs. Thank you so much for putting on this show. That is awesome. Love you to bits, Rona. Thank you for supporting us as always. Guys, this hour has gone so fast. Doesn't time just fly by when you're spending it with friends? You guys are absolutely amazing. Guys, some of the best entrepreneurs and friends in the whole entire world spent this hour with us today. If you vibe with any of them, if you want to discuss something more, if you want to set up that one-on-one coffee, literally most of these mistakes you can avoid by just speaking to some of these people. That's the truth of it, right? So if you vibe with any of them, you want to chat to them, all you have to say is, I saw you on the coffee shop show, can we grab a coffee? That's all you have to say. So go to the description, click on those links, and remember to come back next time, same place, same time. We'll be here for you every single week, every single Monday, just bringing you all this love and care and learning from some of the best entrepreneurs that we've ever met from around the world. So thank you so much for spending this time with us. If you're on Zoom, you don't have to drop off if you don't want to. And if you're on YouTube or Facebook, this is goodbye for now, but we'll see you next week. We love you. May all your wildest entrepreneurial dreams come true.